Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Eddie here, and here we're gonna do a little just a little glue in and some other stuff in this art journal that I received from my friend Liz Bant, and I've added some things since you last saw it. So basically I added this here. This is the piece of the washi tape I made recently, piece there, and then a piece on the back. And I cut out this from when we did the Black Eyed Susan gel prints. I cut this one out. This was on Carnival Wet Strength tissue, and I glued them to the back there. On here, I took the rest of that tissue and I backed it with a piece of a heavier duty copy paper, and just that was gel printed on. So you see that the blue is a separate sheet of paper that I attached to the tissue, so it would give it some weight. And then see, you can use it as a bucket. So that's that, and I think it goes really well with the background here that was already there. And then I added some book corners. Really simple. You can get them fairly inexpensively online. All I do is I put a little bit of glitter glue on the inside, so on both sides, and then I put it onto my corner, and then I use pliers to just secure it, because sometimes it needs a little bit of closing, if you know what I mean. And then I did put this piece of tissue down here on the front cover, on the inside of the front. I think this was beautiful. And then over here, this was a gel print. This was actually a flop off. This was 2 flop offs. So I took the stencil and I cleaned it off twice. And we got this really cool print. This is on the Hammermill copy paper, so it's got nice weight. So we have a pocket there. And then I can come back and do other stuff there. I should ink the pages, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. And then I have these 2 prints. I'm thinking I wanna stay within this kind of color vibe in the first signature, because I have 3 signatures in here. So, and I have several of these prints that fall into that color category, or that color group. And then I thought maybe this one could go here. I could even just do a section right in here. Maybe like just cut that out and then leave this. That would be cool. So we have that. And then this one too, I want to cover this up here. But I need to add another layer to fill in that white, because the white's kind of bothering me. I mean, if I put it with this, it's just kind of blah. I did this with the Desert Crack stencil from PM Artist Studio. Put anything else in here? Oh, and this is one of those fun prints that, if you use your smaller gel plate as a palette to mix paints or anything like that, and you let, some of those layers dry and then pull it. So I did that here, and the circles were made by the stamp from PM Artist Studio, Nested Circles, and I was stamping in black with the circles onto what eventually became ATCs, and this is the gel plate I was doing it on, and I was using gold, so there's gold and black, and then I pulled it with this blue, it was a blue mixture I mixed up for something, and so there you go, beautiful print, and I thought it would look really cool, maybe here, like this or like that. I may not get out to all of this today. I'm going to keep the video short. I just wanted to give you an update as to what's going on with the book. Sometimes I pull it out. I work on it when I'm like, kind of like before bed, that type of thing. So then let me show you These are some tissue prints from that Black Eyed Susan video, and I thought we could play with those. Maybe this one we could spray. Actually, these two I want to spray. So I want to do those first. And I got my little makeup sponges out, and I have some distress sprays. Now, some of these have been altered due to the spray dye running out. So these are not doctored. This is a Distress Oxide spray in Prize Ribbon and Mowed Lawn. This one is a spray stain in Peeled Paint. This one has got a different stuff in it. This one I made kind of a gold spray. So, you know, we're going to play along with these, trying to keep within the the color vibe of the, let's see better, of the book. Okay. So I think that what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this mat as my surface. Put these over here, that would be better. Just going to stand them up, why not? You'll see them as I use them. Okay. So I'm going to do this from behind because it will cause less impact on the metallic here that I don't want to lose. So you see that, all that shiny goodness? So let's go ahead. I'll spray it from the back. And then I will use these sponges to spread it out. First, I'm going to wet it a little bit. And I'm going to use this tea dye here. It's not tea dye, I apologize. So it's a mix of these infusion powders. So I put some golden sand into here, and there was already something else in here. So it's far from whatever the tea dye was in here originally. So just be aware that some things have been altered. Always wipe your nosies. So let me spray this a little bit. It's just plain water. So maybe just do this bottom section here. I'm gonna put a little bit more ink on here, or pigment, whatever you want to call it. And just kind of spread it out, make sure it gets all the edges. And if we want it more intense, we can certainly add more. So you can see the gold, the metallic is not affected. It's enhanced, so it's kind of a weak color, but we're gonna just keep going. Like I said, I can add more if I want to. Maybe we'll come in with some of this peeled paint. Or no, you know what? I'm going to use this. For this, I used a powder that was an infusion powder called Emerald Isle. And it's sort of it's a green base. I did go a little heavier on that, but that's okay. Put this on here. But it's not super dark either. great things about, I love this silicone mat. It's one of the best things I've ever purchased for my artwork. Oh, so easy to clean. All right, so we've got that layer down. Let's see how we're looking here. So far, so good. I'm gonna give this a quick little dry with the heat gun, and then I will return. I should plug it in first. Alright guys, I am very sorry about what's going on here. Let me explain. My camera's doing stupid stuff, and so I would hit record and it would stop on its own, and because it's above me I can't see it. So let me explain what I did. So after I dried that first layer, I came back in with something darker here on the bottom, and then I blended in this with the peeled paint spray. Just use my sponge to come along and do all that and blend it without and then this was the blue, this prize ribbon oxide spray, distress oxide spray. I sprayed it from the back, and when you do that, the front side you get a clearer version of that blue, and on the other side is where that more the oxidation is, because that's the surface you put it on. But for some reason on the other side it looks less cloudy. So I'm gonna dry this, and I'm not going to pause the camera because I'm just not gonna touch it until I'm done. I'm gonna dry this and I'll show you how it looks. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That is a beautiful piece of tissue. And it was just done with some sprays. All right, let's do this next one I have here. All right, so this has the blue paint on the front. What do we do from the back? Let's try. I'll go with this one here. This is the one I made with the Emerald Isle spray. We'll do the same thing. We'll just do this one in sections. I forgot to spray it first with water, but I think we're okay because I'm not doing a ton here. Just trying to block in some color. You see how translucent that is? Lovely. I think maybe over pages that have a lot of text on them, these would be great over that. What I'm doing here, I'm just kind of feathering out smoothing out the hard edge a little bit. And then what can we do for the center? I'm gonna go with the blue. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we are going to give it a go. see how the oxide separates from the actual dye, the actual color? That's because I sprayed the water down. And these distress sprays, inks, whatever, are activated by water. This is quite relaxing, and it's a good day for it because it's yucky out there. I don't know if it started raining, but it looks like it's gonna rain. I mean, the temperature is great. It's very mild, comfy. Okay, let's see. Need some down here. And now let me dry it again, and then we'll see where we are. And if we need to, we'll add some more. Quick peek, it's not completely dry, but okay. I think we need to come in with some of the yellow or yellowish stuff, and I think that will help. Here's what I'm gonna do. Stand up and spray some of this down. Just add a tiny bit of water. Now, I love these. I got a box of these really cheap. It's a fine mister. Great for stuff like this. All right, so I'm standing up so I can get more of a speckled look. Now this one I'm not going to go into with the sponge. I'm going to dry it as it is, and hopefully that'll create some interest. All right, that's a little something, something. And I think for the final layer, I'm going to spray it with this. This is gold mica spray with water. And there was like, maybe this is originally the fossilized amber. There was maybe like not even 4 drops. It was just very little amount. So there's not much of that in here. But let me shake it up well. Give this bad boy a little shine. Nice. Oh, isn't that lovely? All right, let me try this, and we'll move on to something else. That is a lovely piece of paper. Tissue. Nice, very nice. All right, I'm gonna set it aside. Let that gold mica settle in. I gotta give this surface a quick clean up, and use a wipe because it will get nice and colorful, and we can save it for something else. Uh-oh, I put the wrong cover on something. I think this, no. I think, no, that's that. Ah, here it is. That's the wrong one. That goes there. That goes there. Look at that. Very cool, grungy. Hopefully I can come up with an idea to use the ton of painty baby wipes I have that I've saved up. Do something in the book. Maybe flowers. I don't know. We shall see. So, since we kind of have this leaf motif, or flower thing, the leaves are very prominent. I have this. This is an altered version of Carrie's Little Leaves, Carrie the Crafter. And maybe could use that to decorate these pages. Maybe I'll do that here and use some leaves. Put some leaves down. Now, this is how I'm gonna do it. All right. There's some paint on here. I'm not worried because I might get a cool print out of it. But this is my 5x7 gel plate, and I'm gonna use it as a palette and then brayer it out and then come in and add it in there. Although, you know, let me use my smaller brayer. It's this guy here. And so let me start with some yellow here. And maybe a little yellow ochre. Kind of go back and forth. So this is it. Just put the stencil down, run your brayer over it. Here we go. Now, I know I'm not getting the exact pattern. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for like marks and like just interesting things that happen when I do this. Let's flip it over. There's paint on that side. See? Do that. I should get rid of that and move that somewhere else, so I do not get it all mucky. Let's get rid of that. And even use your brayer too. Let's get some green on here. Let's use some of this phthalo green. Mix it right in there with the yellow. enough of that for now. Leave that on here to dry. So got a nice cool background here, so I can add other stuff that'll make it, that will work with that. So let me give that a quick dry. So let's go back. So this was here. I think I'm going to do this one here. So this will be a background here. But I want to tear the edges, so I'm going to do about that from there. I always forget I've got this handy ruler. It would come off the hook. It's my tearing ruler. I always forget that I got this thing. Make life easier. Save your scraps. Okay, so maybe another, let's say about another 1/2 inch over here. Now, when you're ripping something like this, pull the paper towards you, like this. You have a better chance of getting a good rip. Because you know, sometimes you're trying to tear it and it gets stuck in the middle or something. Tear top edge. Let's see where we're at. Sometimes you get a little corner that's missed. So kind of help it along. All right, that can come down. All right, beautiful. I think for this one, I'm just going to stick it down with some with the glue stick. Just a little glue stick magic. And this is the Scotch Permanent Glue Stick. Love it. All right. Smooth it out. That would be lovely. And like I said, I do want to come in and ink the edges, but I'll do that later. But I like that there. Okay. Now for this one, what if we did a pocket for this corner here? Get rid of that glue there. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little pocket for that corner there. All right. Still a little white on there. Might as well just do all 4 sides while we're at it. There's a lot of white there. Let's get rid of that. Almost. All right, so for this, I love these crackles here, so maybe I can use it this way. Or these. Now I get more crackle if I have it this way. So let me see, I'm just gonna tear down. So, you know, what I'm hoping to do is like tuck in pieces of art, larger gel prints, you know, tuck them in there. Maybe get rid of you. I like it. But first, I'm gonna spray some of this green oxide on here. It's called Modelon. Pick up some of the green that's in here. Oh boy, you need your nose wiped. All right. That's good. All right, so now we just spray a little water on there. Let's get it to do different stuff. And you'll see the oxide start working. Thing. It's magic. Take some out of there. Okay, let me dry it. Can you see that? I'll zoom in for you. Look at that. Very cool. You see how it separates anything that's wet with this towel. All right, so this will go here. Although, yeah, that's a good spot for it. And where's my glue? Here we are. I'm just going to use some glitter glue for this so that I can get nice and permanent adhesion. I kind of want to leave that showing. Just, I like that. Don't ask me why. Just, I like it. All right. And maybe I can put some of this green on a sponge and go over these edges that I missed. Do that. There we go. Lovely. And then, of course, you know, as I move on, you know, decorating, as I come up with ideas, I'll put stuff, I'll add stuff, you know. But I just want to get some backgrounds in. So I need something to go in between the sheets here. tissue so that doesn't spread. So I want to get that tissue down. Let's put one of them on here. We'll do that. All right, now let me think. Do I want to glue this down with my gel medium or my glue stick? I think I'm going to glue stick it. I think I am. Because I don't want the colors to run, and sometimes with the gel medium, that's what happens. Now let me see how this is gonna, if I can tear it this way. No, see there's a grain that goes one way on the Carnival tissue paper that allows you to tear it straight. So I just gotta find that, that's this way. Easy tear, pretty much straight. And then for the bottom part, see, I like that. So I think maybe, I can tear this right here. And it's not going to be completely straight, but it is what it is. Let me see if I can tear this with this ruler. Actually, let me do this side first. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So I want this here. And I can cover up those holes, honestly. I'm not gonna need them. And so I just need to tear off this much. And this is why I want that stitching to show, because I'm sure it took Liz a lot of work to stitch all these pages together. So I want them to show. Okay, no worries. No worries. You can piece it in. All right, so let me just move this, and I tore that up. But we're going to piece it in. That's why you save your scraps, because you never know. So little by little, I'm going to put the glue down and then lay the tissue down. So I'm going to glue down here. I'll do it by section. I'll smooth it out as I go. There we are. Smoother. Now, if there's some bits on the edges that aren't glued down, I'll come back in once I'm done with this and just hit it with some glue, and then it'll be fine. All right, so we got that there. let's go down. I like this glue because it does give you a little bit of wiggle room. Not a ton, but enough to, you know, move your whatever you're gluing down. Let me see if I can get this patched in here. There's that, and then there's this piece here. Yeah, so this piece goes here. See if I can tear this evenly. There we go. Slap a little glue on there. Do our best to line it up over here. Got this crooked edge I made, so maybe where's this one better? It's darker so it matches better. So let me see here. No, I don't want that bit up there. All right, let's see here. Let's just get that off. Oh, well, this is the piece we took off here. Okay. Now it makes sense. Sort of. Here we go. That's it. All right, so I'm just gonna put glue down where I want it to stick, and then I will trim off the rest once it's completely dry. Wait. So that is going to go here. All right, so yeah, I'll come back once it's all dry and I will trim off the excess so that we don't have any, you know, anything sticking out there that we don't want. All right, that turned out nice. Once this is dry, this will look really good. All patched up. All right, so it goes there. And while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. I'm gonna, where's my, here it is. Beautiful. All right. So maybe put this here. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I think it'll work here. That'd be good. I need to put something to glue on, and I have my other stuff. Let's see here. Here's some paper. Okey-dokey. I'm just gonna go this way. Scrape that bad boy down. Lovely. And for our next trick, let's see where we're going to put the other tissue. All right, so we have this, what's left of this. This is the whole signature here. Yeah, I might change this. Some washi tape I had punched out, and then so I used the outer bit, but it kind of, see, it got all wibbly wobbly. I'm going to leave it for now and then fix it another day. Now here's the other thing we can do. I can make it a spread here. What do we think? Could just do it that way. Do that. I will put this down like this. And continue this on that side maybe. See if I can pull this up. That was not good. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna do my best to not muck this up. All right. And you see how easy that was? It was because I was going with the grain of the paper. I think this is going to be the last thing I do. Like I said, I wanted to keep this short, but I wanted to show you, how things are coming along and how, what I'm doing with the book. And again, this is an art book or journal that was made for me by Liz Bent. She's wonderful for making this for me. And so I'm going to make it into a journal to hold my artwork. And the artwork is also decorating it. So that's extra fun. This way. All right. That's where I want it. Keep losing my scraper. There it is. Right in my face. Yeah, okay. Let's get that glued here. Oh wait, I forgot I haven't glued this part down. So, and that way I don't have to wait hours for this glue to dry if I use like a different glue, like an Elmer's or whatever. So there we go. And this is permanent, the glue, which is great. Oh, nice. That went down. That looks so good. Ooh, pretty. And this section will go here. All right, so I'm gonna leave it here, and while I put this down, I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you so much, and good luck to everybody who's entered into the 6,000 subscriber giveaway. If you haven't entered yet, it ends Sunday, May 11th in the evening, and I am in Eastern Standard Time. So keep that in mind. I'd say the cutoff is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, May 11th. And then I will choose a winner. Now, the way you enter is you have to be subscribed to the channel, first of all, and then you have to watch the video I did of jelly printing on washi tape. Or washi paper, and I make my own washi tape. So check that out, like the video and comment, and that is an entry. I'll pick a winner from those comments. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me today. This was fun, a little mixed media, a little gluing, a little spraying. Some of these pages are awesome. Look at that, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna let this dry open, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.